To be or not to be. Not to be.
Hi, welcome to another Vinyl Thoughts. I'm so excited because today we're going to talk about another of my favorite soundtracks of all time. It's peeking in over here. If you saw the fucking cover image, you know what I'm talking about. But it's such a fucking great soundtrack. Now, if you remember my video I did on the Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey soundtrack, you'll remember me talking about an era when soundtracks were awesome. And there were so many great bands that would get together on a soundtrack and they would give us songs that they hadn't released anywhere else. And this is probably the best example of a soundtrack that, for metalheads like me, hyped the fucking movie beyond any trailer could possibly do. We're talking about the soundtrack for the 1993 movie Last Action Hero. It's a bomb! This is a Arnold Schwarzenegger huge summer blockbuster that didn't bust blocks the way that they thought it was going to. I saw it in the theater, but why did I see it in the theater? Because of this fucking soundtrack. So I remember, it may have been weeks or months before, I don't really remember when it started, but on Headbangers Ball you started to see videos from this soundtrack. First, you saw the video for Big Gun by AC/DC. I believe that was kind of the first one you saw. And then very shortly after that, you saw the video for What the Hell Have I by Alice in Chains. And then, it may have been after the movie came out, it may have been before, you had a video for Angry Again by the mighty Megadeth. And then, you know, so on and so on. But those three tracks alone. Yeah, the AC/DC a little bit less because I wasn't that into AC/DC at that point. I was really fucking into Megadeth and Alice in Chains. And not only that, this soundtrack promised an original unreleased song from Anthrax, one of my favorite bands of all time. And the song on here, Poison My Eyes, is fucking amazing. It's from that first album era with John Bush, which is my favorite album with John Bush. It's such a fucking great album. It's a great song. But I mean, everything on here, aside from the very last track, which is some orchestrated bullshit, whatever. But you've got Big Gun by AC/DC. You've got, did I say ACD? I had an accent there for a minute. You have What the Hell Have I by Alice in Chains. Angry Again by Megadeth. Real World by Queensryche. Two Steps Behind by Def Leppard. Poison My Eyes by Anthrax. Then you have a live version of Dream On the other side by Aerosmith. And then look, you have a second unreleased Alice in Chains song, A Little Bitter. Also a fucking badass song. Then you've got some Cypress Hill, Cock the Hammer. I'm into some Cypress Hill, so it's cool they threw that in there. And then you have Swim by Fishbone. What a fucking great song that is. That's from that era where Fishbone was like, you know what, we've been doing this kind of funky ska thing. We're just going to do a metal album. And it's a fucking great album and a great song. And then Tesla with the Last Action Hero theme. I don't know. It's probably the least exciting song off of this soundtrack. But it took me a while to find. I'm going to switch sides. I'm always over here like this. Which side do you guys like better? You know, comment down below. What's my better side? Anyway, it took me a while to find a vinyl version of this because they haven't done a repressing. I had to find this European version of it. But let me tell you, I was super stoked when I did. Because if you want to find shit like this from overseas, most of the time you're going to be forking over $80, $100, $200. Who the fuck knows? But if you're patient enough on the trusty Discogs, occasionally you'll find somebody who just wants to get rid of their records. Hence, I got this guy for, I don't know, what was it, $25? Fucking insane. Let's look at the record. Here we go. Columbia Records, nothing fancy there. There is no inner sleeve. It's just bare bones. But really, when you're dealing with a soundtrack as fucking good as this one, do you need anything else? You don't. The songs speak for themselves. But the songs were so good that me and my friends were there the first weekend to see Last Action Hero. Apparently, not a lot of people were there the first weekend to see Last Action Hero. But I'm assuming most of them were people like me who were super jazzed up about this badass soundtrack. And you know what? The movie's pretty fucking good. It got a raw deal, in my opinion.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
But hey, I'll also refer you back to my last video on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, where I warn everybody that my taste in movies is a little iffy, you know? So if you really want to know the scoop, go don't wash it, watch it. You can wash it if you want, if you're feeling dirty. Go watch it yourself, or just go search online for some dumbass's review of the movie, because, yeah, anyway, movie reviewers, or reviewers in general. You know what I'm talking about.
Don't give up your day job.
Anyway, before I go on forever and ever about this soundtrack, I'm just gonna wrap it up. I don't really think this soundtrack is available in its entirety on any streaming services, but I'm pretty sure you could probably go on Amazon and pick up a CD version of it for like $2 or $3. I highly recommend doing it, or hold out for a vinyl version. It's worth it. It's a fucking killer soundtrack.
Trust me.
Anyway, thank you for listening to me babble on once again, and I will see you guys next time.